California is where million-dollar shacks meet minimum wage dreams, and your down payment could buy a mansion literally anywhere else in America. With median home prices soaring past $800,000 statewide, some markets are crashing harder than a Tesla on autopilot, while others are quietly building wealth for those smart enough to look beyond the Instagram-worthy zip codes. We've crunched the numbers, stalked Zillow, analyzed crime stats, and calculated eye-gouging insurance costs. We are ranking 10 California cities from absolute worst to thriving best, and will completely flip your perspective on California real estate. So hit subscribe, because we're about to serve up brutal honesty about California living. Starting our countdown in the city where a cardboard box under a freeway costs more than a 4-bedroom colonial in Ohio, San Francisco, the fallen tech capital that's become a cautionary tale with a $1.35 million price tag versus a $120,000 median income. That's an 11-to-1 ratio that means saving every penny for 11 years just to afford the down payment, assuming you don't eat, sleep indoors, or have any of those pesky human needs like healthcare. Monthly mortgage payments exceed $4,200, plus $6,000 annual insurance and $1,800 monthly HOA fees, more than most Americans spend on their entire car payment. Over 50,000 people have fled since 2021 as tech layoffs mount and the work-from-home revolution empties office towers. The Mission District went from edgy cool to just plain edgy. With property crime so common, locals develop a sixth sense for spotting smash-and-grab operations. The once vibrant Soma district looks like a post-apocalyptic movie set, complete with empty office towers serving as monuments to remote work. 33% of listings had price cuts in Q1 2025. $200,000 drops that would buy mansions in Kansas, but barely register as rounding errors here. The farmers markets still offer $12 organic apples, while you contemplate the $2 million fixer-upper next door. San Francisco is the town of Manhattan prices for Detroit vibes, and your biggest decision is avocado toast or retirement savings. Spoiler, you can't afford either. Welcome to Los Angeles, where dreams come to die expensive deaths, and your morning commute takes longer than most people's vacations. With a median home price of $870,000 versus $75,000 household income, LA has achieved the impossible, making homeownership more fictional than the movies they produce here. That 12-to-1 price-to-income ratio means buying a home in LA is like trying to date a celebrity. Theoretically possible, but you'll probably go broke trying, and the rejection will haunt you forever. Since 2023, over 32,000 residents have packed up and left LA, which is basically the entire population of Manhattan Beach saying, "Nah, we're good," and heading to Texas. The recent wildfires have turned homeowners' insurance into a contact sport. Premiums have doubled faster than gas prices during a refinery fire, and some neighborhoods are so high risk that insurance companies ghost you harder than a bad Tinder date. Nearly 23% of listings dropped their prices in the first quarter, and homes that used to sell in bidding wars are now sitting on the market longer than a Marvel movie. You can enjoy that perfect 75-degree sunshine while sitting in traffic for 2 hours trying to get from Santa Monica to downtown, a distance that should take 20 minutes, but somehow requires a full tank of gas and the patience of a Buddhist monk. The food truck scene is incredible, though. You can get authentic Korean BBQ tacos while contemplating whether you should just live in your car, which might actually be a sound financial strategy given housing prices. Los Angeles is where you pay premium prices for the privilege of explaining to friends back home why your cozy apartment costs more than their 4-bedroom house. But at least you can wear flip-flops in January. Santa Barbara, the city so beautiful, it makes you forget you're about to go broke just looking at it. With Spanish architecture that belongs in a fairy tale and home prices that belong in a horror movie, Santa Barbara has perfected the art of making financial ruin feel romantic. At $1.5 million median home price versus $90,000 median income, we're looking at a 17-to-1 ratio that's more terrifying than any Stephen King novel. This isn't just unaffordable, this is sell your organs on the black market and you still can't afford the down payment territory. The climate risks read like a biblical plague checklist. Wildfires in the foothills, mudslides during winter storms, and drought conditions that make your water bill higher than most people's rent. Insurance companies are charging $5,000 plus annually, and some hillside properties are getting denied coverage faster than a reality show gets canceled. Santa Barbara is losing its workforce like a sinking ship loses lifeboats. Over 8,000 residents have fled since 2022, mostly the teachers, firefighters, nurses, and service workers who actually make a community function. What's left is a beautiful shell where the only people who can afford to live are retirees spending their kids' inheritance and tech executives who think $1.5 million for a 3-bedroom ranch is a steal. Market signals are flashing warning signs brighter than a California wildfire. Listing times are up 60% year over year, and 30% of properties dropped their asking prices in Q1 2025. The farmers market offers $15 organic strawberries while you stand next to a $2 million cottage that needs a new roof. Santa Barbara, where you can live in paradise as long as you don't mind selling your soul, your firstborn, and your retirement fund for the privilege. Oakland, once the Bay Area's affordable alternative, back when that phrase wasn't an oxymoron. With a median home price of $720,000 and incomes around $80,000, Oakland offers all the Bay Area problems with fewer of the Bay Area benefits. Oakland ranks in the top 5 nationally for property crime, which means your biggest home security concern isn't whether you remembered to lock the door, but whether your car will still have windows when you get back from grocery shopping. Over 12,000 residents have fled since 2023, and they're not leaving because they got tired of the weather. The housing market is showing more red flags than a communist parade. 30% of listings cut their prices in early 2025, and homes are sitting on the market for 60-plus days, which in Bay Area terms is like a house being on the market for 6 months anywhere else. Insurance premiums have jumped 45% in just 3 years, especially in the hillside neighborhoods that are prone to wildfires. The BART system connects Oakland to San Francisco, which sounds great until you realize you're paying $720,000 to live somewhere so you can commute to somewhere even more expensive. It's like buying expensive tickets to sit in the nosebleeds at an overpriced stadium. Oakland has an amazing food scene. Some of the best tacos, BBQ, and soul food in California. You can get incredible meals for reasonable prices, which is perfect because after paying your mortgage, utilities, and insurance, street food might be all you can afford. The city has a genuine creative soul with artist collectives, indie music venues, and a DIY culture that feels real compared to San Francisco's corporate-sponsored innovation. But even the starving artists are getting priced out. Oakland has all the Bay Area stress, half the Bay Area salary, and twice the chance your car gets broken into. Palm Springs, where Hollywood legends came to hide from their problems and modern buyers come to create new ones. This desert playground has transformed from a celebrity retreat into a retirement community that's pricing out the retirees, which is like a country club that's too expensive for golfers. With a median home price of $675,000 and household incomes struggling around $70,000, Palm Springs has achieved the unique distinction of being unaffordable in the middle of nowhere. It's like paying Manhattan prices for the privilege of living in a really expensive oven. Dry heat stops being a selling point when your air conditioning bill costs more than most people's rent. Palm Springs endured over 60 days above 110 degrees Fahrenheit last year, which means your utility costs are higher than a college student's credit card debt. Swimming pools aren't a luxury here, they're a survival mechanism. The Airbnb explosion has turned Palm Springs into a short-term rental playground that's pricing out actual residents. Investors snapped up properties to convert into vacation rentals, driving up home prices while neighborhoods turned into revolving doors of weekend warriors. Now that the party's over, these same investors are flooding the market trying to unload their overpriced desert investments. In Q1 2025, 31% of homes had price cuts, and the average time on market has soared past 50 days as former Airbnb empires crumble faster than sandcastles in the desert wind. The golf courses are immaculate, though. You can play 18 holes while your house value evaporates in the desert sun. The downtown area has great restaurants and surprisingly vibrant nightlife. But it's hard to enjoy cocktails when you're calculating whether you can afford both your mortgage and your electric bill. You can live like a celebrity in Palm Springs, as long as you don't mind spending like one too. Stockton, the city that's been through more ups and downs than a yo-yo in the hands of a hyperactive kid. With a median home price of $480,000 and incomes around $66,000, Stockton offers the unique experience of being unaffordable in a place most Californians couldn't find on a map. This is the city that filed for bankruptcy in 2012, which should have been a warning sign, but instead became a selling point for investors who thought they were getting a bargain. It's like buying a used car from someone who mentions the engine only caught fire once. Foreclosure filings are up 17% year over year, which means Stockton is speed running its way back to financial disaster. The downtown waterfront is actually quite nice, with restaurants and entertainment venues that would be impressive in any city. The problem is explaining to your friends why you paid $480,000 to live somewhere they've never heard of and aren't sure they want to visit. Crime statistics read like a true crime podcast waiting to happen, with Stockton consistently ranking high for violent incidents per capita. 28% of listings dropped their prices in the last quarter, and homes are sitting unsold for 50-plus days on average. The University of the Pacific campus is beautiful, and the student population brings some energy to the city. But it's hard to appreciate college town vibes when you're paying college tuition prices just for housing. The agricultural heritage provides fresh produce at reasonable prices, which is perfect because after paying your mortgage, fresh vegetables might be the only luxury you can afford. Stockton. Premium California prices for the authentic experience of wondering why you didn't just move to Texas. Burbank. The city that's close enough to Hollywood to smell the desperation, but far enough away to avoid the paparazzi. With a median home price pushing $1 million and household incomes around $90,000, Burbank has perfected the art of charging Manhattan prices for suburban mediocrity. This is where the magic happens, literally. Disney, Warner Brothers, and NBC all call Burbank home, which sounds glamorous until you realize you're paying $1 million for a basic ranch house so you can live near the place where they film sitcoms about people who can't afford to live in Burbank. Property taxes are among the highest in Los Angeles County, and insurance premiums are rising faster than a Marvel movie budget due to wildfire risks from the nearby hills. The market has shifted from hot to not, faster than a canceled TV show. Homes that once sold in bidding wars are now sitting for 60-plus days, and price cuts of 10% or more are becoming as common as reboots in Hollywood. Wage growth is flatter than a pancake, and corporate layoffs are trickling in from nearby entertainment and tech hubs. Burbank does have that small-town feel in the middle of LA madness. The downtown area has been revitalized with great restaurants, breweries, and entertainment venues. Bob Hope Airport is small, efficient, and actually pleasant to use, which in LA terms is like finding a unicorn. The schools are excellent, and the neighborhood's genuinely safe, with a community feel that's rare in LA. You actually know your neighbors without needing a property management company to coordinate. Burbank, $1 million ticket to small-town charm in the middle of Hollywood's backyard. Welcome to Riverside, the city that's been quietly building wealth while everyone else was busy going broke in style. With a median home price of $550,000 and household incomes around $70,000, Riverside offers that rare California commodity, a price-to-income ratio that won't require selling your organs on the black market. That 8-to-1 ratio is practically reasonable by California standards, which is like saying a $20 hamburger is affordable because everywhere else charges $40. Riverside is experiencing something most California cities have forgotten: actual population growth. People are moving here on purpose, not just because they got priced out of everywhere else. The University of California, Riverside is a legitimate research university that brings educated professionals and stable employment to the area. The downtown area has been revitalized with craft breweries, farm-to-table restaurants, and cultural venues that would be impressive in any city. The Mission Inn is a legitimate historic landmark that hosts presidents and celebrities, but you don't have to pay celebrity prices to live nearby. The weather is fantastic. Desert climate without the extreme heat of Palm Springs. And you're close enough to mountains and beaches you can actually visit without taking out a second mortgage for gas money. Market fundamentals are solid. Steady appreciation without bubble territory, reasonable inventory levels, and buyers who are actually buying homes to live in, not just flip them. The food scene is surprisingly good. Authentic Mexican cuisine, Asian fusion, and barbecue joints that would make Texas jealous. You can get incredible meals for reasonable prices, which is perfect because you'll actually have money left over after paying your mortgage. Riverside is where you can still achieve the California dream without selling your soul to the California nightmare. Fresno, the city that's been quietly building wealth while everyone else was busy Instagramming their financial ruin. With a median home price of $420,000 and household incomes around $65,000, Fresno offers something that's become extinct in most of California: actual affordability. That 6.5 to 1 price-to-income ratio is so reasonable, it's almost suspicious. In California terms, it's like finding a unicorn that also does your taxes and makes excellent coffee. This is what home ownership used to look like before California decided that housing should cost more than most people's lifetime earnings. While everyone was busy being snobby about Fresno, Fresno was busy being smart about economics. The agricultural industry provides economic stability that tech hubs can only dream about. People will always need food, but they don't always need another social media app. The healthcare and education sectors are growing, and major employers like community medical centers in Fresno State provide steady, well-paying jobs. The cultural scene is surprisingly robust. The Fresno Art Museum, the Tower Theater, and a growing downtown arts district would be impressive in any city. The food scene is incredible. Authentic Mexican, Hmong, Armenian, and farm-to-table restaurants that serve meals made with ingredients grown within 50 miles of your table. You're 2 hours from Yosemite, 1 hour from Sequoia National Park, and close enough to the coast for weekend trips. The cost of living is so reasonable that you can actually save money, invest for retirement, and maybe even take vacations. Revolutionary concepts that have been extinct in most of California for decades. Fresno, where you can still live the California dream without the California nightmare price tag. Taking the crown as California's best housing market value is Sacramento, the city that figured out how to be California without the California crazy. With a median home price of $525,000 and household incomes around $75,000, Sacramento offers that magical 7-to-1 ratio that makes home ownership possible without requiring a trust fund or a side hustle in cryptocurrency. Sacramento is what happens when a city grows up and makes responsible decisions. As the state capital, it has economic stability that other California cities can only dream about. Government jobs don't disappear when venture capital dries up or when the latest tech trend becomes yesterday's news. State employees get pensions, healthcare, and job security. Revolutionary concepts in modern California. The healthcare sector is booming with UC Davis Medical Center and Sutter Health providing high-paying jobs. The tech industry is growing as Bay Area companies discover they can pay Sacramento wages and still attract talent who can actually afford to live near their office. The food scene is legitimately impressive. Farm-to-fork restaurants that serve ingredients grown within 50 miles, craft breweries that would make Portland jealous, and ethnic cuisine that reflects the city's diversity. You can get incredible meals at reasonable prices, which is perfect because you'll actually have money left over after paying your mortgage. Market fundamentals are solid as a rock. Healthy appreciation without bubble territory, good inventory turnover, and buyers who are purchasing homes to live in them, not flip them for quick profits. The location is perfect. 2 hours from San Francisco, 90 minutes from Lake Tahoe, 3 hours from Yosemite. You can access all of California's attractions without paying California's premium prices to live near them. The American River provides recreation opportunities right in the city, and the bike trail system is extensive enough to make Portland jealous. Sacramento has culture, nightlife, and amenities that rival much more expensive cities. The Crocker Art Museum, the California State Fair, professional sports teams, and a music scene that attracts national acts. The commute situation is refreshingly normal. Traffic exists, but it's not the soul-destroying experience of LA or the Bay Area. You can get across town in reasonable time, and parking doesn't require a second mortgage. Sacramento represents something that's become extinct in most of California: the possibility of building wealth through home ownership while still having money left over to enjoy life. You can save for retirement, take vacations, and maybe even have kids without requiring a trust fund. Sacramento, the state capital of common sense in a state that forgot what common sense costs. From San Francisco's $1.35 million gamble that's more likely to bankrupt you than build wealth, to Sacramento's sensible $525,000 investment that might actually let you retire someday, this ranking proves that in California, real estate location isn't just everything. It's the difference between building generational wealth and becoming a cautionary tale your friends tell at dinner parties. The best markets combine affordability with stability, growth potential with livability, and dreams with actual mathematical possibility. The worst markets make you house poor, while your investment loses value faster than a celebrity marriage. California still offers the American dream, but you have to be smart enough to look beyond the Instagram-worthy zip codes and focus on places where the numbers actually work. Sacramento isn't as glamorous as San Francisco, but your retirement account will be a lot more glamorous. Fresno doesn't have the beach, but it has something better: affordability. What do you think? Did your city get ranked fairly, or are we completely wrong about everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this ranking saved you from making a costly mistake, smash that like button and subscribe.